There's a silence in hospital rooms that teaches more than any book. It's not the monitors beeping, not the footsteps in the hall. It's the silence between words, when a man looks back at his life and realizes what actually mattered. Nurses who work with the dying hear things most people never will. Final confessions, last words, the truths that surface only when there's nothing left to protect, no image to maintain, no future to plan for, no time left to pretend. And the regrets? They're almost always the same. Not what you'd expect, not about money or achievements or the deals they didn't close. The regrets that haunt dying men cut deeper than any business failure ever could. This is what they wish they'd known, while there was still time. They regret working so much. Almost without exception, men who spent decades chasing promotions, building empires, sacrificing everything on the altar of success. And at the end, none of it mattered. Not the corner office, not the portfolio, not the title on the door. What mattered was the baseball game they missed, the dinner conversations that never happened, the children who grew up while they were answering emails, the wife who stopped asking them to come home because the answer was always the same. They traded presence for provision, and in the final accounting, the trade wasn't worth it. Not one of them wished they'd worked more. They regret not expressing their feelings. Most men go to their graves with words still locked inside. The love they never spoke, the gratitude they assumed was obvious, the apology they kept postponing because there would always be more time. And then suddenly, there wasn't. Dying men weep over this more than anything. Not the things they said, the things they didn't. The father who never heard, "I forgive you." The son who never heard, "I'm proud of you." The wife who never heard, "You are the best thing that ever happened to me." Those words cost nothing, and withholding them costs everything. They regret letting friendships fade. When men are young, friends are everywhere. Then life happens. Careers, families, responsibilities, and one by one, the friendships slip away. Not through conflict, through neglect, through assuming they'd always be there when there was time to reconnect. There never was. Dying men often ask about old friends, wonder where they went, wish they picked up the phone, wish they hadn't let decades pass without a word. Because at the end, it's not colleagues who sit beside you. It's not business partners. It's the people who knew you before you became anything and loved you anyway. Most men don't realize how rare that is until it's gone. They regret living for others' expectations. This one cuts deep into the bone. Most men built lives based on what they were supposed to want, the career their father respected, the lifestyle their peers expected, the path that looked successful from the outside, even if it felt hollow from within. And at the end, the question echoes, whose life did I actually live? The answer for too many is devastating. They lived for approval that didn't matter. They chased validation from people who forgot their names. They sacrificed their own dreams to fit a mold that was never meant for them. Dying men often say they wish they'd had the courage to live authentically, to disappoint the right people, to choose meaning over image while there was still time. They regret taking more risks. Fear is a liar, and most men obey it their entire lives. The business they never started, the move they never made, the conversation they never had, the love they never pursued because rejection felt too expensive. At the end, those unlived possibilities haunt more than any failure ever could. because failure can be recovered from. But the life you never attempted, that stays with you. A ghost of what could have been, a parallel existence you'll never know. Most dying men don't regret the risks they took. They regret the ones they didn't. They regret not being present. This is the quiet devastation underneath all the others. Most men lived in their heads, planning the future, replaying the past, mentally somewhere else even when physically in the room. Their children remember a father who was there but not there. Their partners remember conversations that felt like talking to a wall. They remember decades that passed like a blur because no one was paying attention. Presence is the rarest gift a man can give, and most men never give it until it's too late to matter. So what does this mean for you? You're not on your deathbed yet. The ending hasn't been written. But the patterns that create those regrets, they're forming now. Today. In the choices you're making and avoiding. In the words you're speaking and swallowing. In the presence you're offering or withholding. Most men assume they'll course correct later, when things settle down, when there's more time, when the kids are grown or the career is stable or the circumstances are right. That moment never comes. The time to live without regret is now. Not when dying forces the reckoning, but while there's still runway to change. Call the friend. Say the words. Take the risk. Be in the room. Actually in it. Stop building a life that looks good and start building one that feels true. Because the finish line is coming, whether you're ready or not. And when it does, you won't care about the money, you won't care about the titles, you won't care about what anyone thought of you. You'll care about moments, connections, presence, love giving and received. You'll care whether you actually lived or just performed living while waiting for a someday that never came. That question is being answered right now. Every single day. What's your answer today?